Hello YouTube, this is the Baroque Gamer. I welcome you back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in and you're wondering who this weirdo is, I'm a 33-year-old gamer hailing from South Africa. I've been gaming for almost 30 years now, from the days of the Windows 95 computer, then moving on to the Windows 98 PC, then the original PlayStation 1, which was my first delve into console gaming. Now for this video I thought I'd bring in my PlayStation 3 video game collection. I have lots of JRPGs, a lot of hidden gems, some shooters, racing games and the like. I also have a lot of review copies which I've picked up over the past few months, which I think you might find intriguing. But before we proceed, a couple of pickups. We'll start with Wild Hearts, the Xbox Series X. With the advent of Xbox self-imploding, a lot of shops are selling their games like hotcakes. I've picked this up brand new, just for $100 or about $5 US, and I've picked up a couple of others. Next is Revenant from the Ashes, also the same price. The Evil Within 2 used, and then of course Wolfenstein Youngblood Deluxe Edition. This actually cost half the price of a Big Mac, believe it or not. I'm not a fan of the girl boss trope. I do think it's very off-putting to gaming nowadays, and with the advent of kind of feminists destroying the industry, pushing a message, you really do think it's something that shouldn't be allowed, and what we should actually be doing is voting with our wallets and only buying the games that we really want. Okay, moving on. I have a PlayStation 4 pickup, No Man's Sky. Heard a lot of good things, well, at least after they patched the game and fixed it. I'll give it a shot one day. And then also picked up The Rough Guide to Video Games. Not a lot of people buy books nowadays, let alone ones for video games, but I do think it's something that I should pick up and collect as they become more rarer over time. Without further ado, I'll give you my PlayStation 3 video game collection. I hope you enjoy. Starting off, we have Agarist, Generations of War. Average runtime of about 80 to 120 hours. Very long and demanding tactical RPG. I've only played the Generations of War 0 for a little bit, which I'll show shortly, but it is also a game I'd like to play and complete. Okay, speaking of which, Agarist, Generations of War 0. This has the 3D art cards, the soundtrack, and the poster installed inside. I need to carry on playing this soon. Then, Agarist Generations of War 2 also has the extras. Funny story, I was working at a convention. I used to be part-timer working at a card gaming store, and I was a Yu-Gi-Oh judge and tournament organizer, and I'd actually asked my boss if I could borrow some money just so that I could buy this game at the convention, of which she had lent to me, and I was able to purchase it. Very excited to have this, seeing that it's also very rare and very hard to find. Moving on to the so-called Holy Trinity of the PS3. Not sure why they call it that, but we'll start with Folklore. Very cool art style. I've yet to try it myself. Next up, Puppeteer. One of my favorite PS3 games of all time. A very unique experience, and it's must-play platformer. Then we have 3D Dot Game Heroes. Apparently it's a lot like Zelda. Not that I've completed a Zelda game as yet, but It's a very fun and quirky gaming experience. It's also highly recommended. This is a must-play game, especially if you have a PS3 and are a fan of the old school RPGs. Next up, Demon Souls. Also a very fun and brutal game, and one that technically had started the Souls as a genre, though this didn't catch on as the newly, or as a more acclaimed Dark Souls, which I have right here, the limited edition. I've played this on the Xbox 360, that was my first playthrough, and it was a very awesome experience, and one that I highly recommend. Then we have Dark Souls 2 Black Armor Edition. This is the Steelbook, and unfortunately I'll have to try and find another one, because when I bought this game, as you can see, it comes with a lot of what looks like stone chips, and I'm not sure how that had happened. I'd won the game on auction. I really wasn't expecting the game to be like this. It didn't show any of the stone chips in the auction itself on the photos. A little disappointed, but nonetheless, just one I'm gonna have to scour again to find another awesome, well-kept copy. Moving on to some sealed games, I only have two. Natural Doctrine. It's a German cover, but the game is in English. I picked this up for 200 rands, I think it is. Unfortunately, I didn't hear the best of stories regarding the gameplay, but as a collector of JRPGs, it was just one I had to add to the collection. Next up, Dungeon Siege 3, I think it is. Oh, yeah, Dungeon Siege 3 limited edition. There you can see the PlayStation 3 wrapping. The game is still brand new and sealed. Now for some compilations. The Jak and Daxter trilogy. I haven't played any of the Jak and Daxter games. I know. Somebody that's been playing a lot of PlayStation games over the years, I have yet to try the Jak and Daxter games myself. Next up, Zone of the Enders HD Collection. The Siberia Collection. Next up, the Sly Trilogy. Some of my favorite games of all time, wrapped in one Blu-ray disc. This is a must-play for anybody that likes 90s to early 21st century cartoons. It's very quirky, very fun, and in many ways it overshadowed my love for Crash Bandicoot. This is a much better, more fun gaming series, in my opinion. Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. Just finished Ico not too long ago. Also a very awesome experience. I want to try find the PlayStation 2 copy. Those are very hard to come by nowadays. Okay. Now for some games as apps, and that be PlayStation Move Starter Disc. I've yet to get the camera and the Move controllers myself, but it's on my to get list. Next up, DJ Hero. I got this game for free. It's more of a novelty. I don't think I'll get the turntables for it. Next up, Rocksmith Authentic Guitar Games. I have a guitar. All I have to do is just hook it up to the system and give it a whirl. We'll wait and see. Rocksmith, all new 2014 edition. Also, we'll try this out soon. I still need to get new strings for my guitar. Then I should hopefully try it. Next up, oh yeah, let me keep these out of the way. Next up we have Resin 2, Dark Waters, a recent pickup. I've gotten this because of the art, and looks to be an awesome pirate adventure. Now for some fighting games, I have Under Night in Birth. This has a German cover, and the manual is also in German. However, the game and the disc, or rather, is all in English. Then we have The King of Fighters 12, an American copy. Somebody had taken a chunk out of the bottom of the case here. I have to find a replacement soon. FIFA 08, the only sports game I have for the console. This I'd gotten for free, along with the Pain game as well, a PlayStation 3 exclusive. When I bought my PlayStation 3 Fat from a shop in the Southern Cape, I'd gotten these two games for free. Okay, let's move on to the novelties I have for the system, being the review copies. Before we move on to the bulk of my PS3 collection, let's start with Blades of Time, a hidden gem, a very fun game. You use time travel in your battles against enemies. Very novel, not without its gripes. Highly recommended. Twisted Metal, Metal Gear Solid HD collection with Sons of Liberty, Snake Eater, and Peace Walker. I've yet to try Peace Walker out myself. Saw, and then the sequel, Saw 2, Flesh and Blood. Silent Hill HD collection containing Silent Hill 2 and 3. Yakuza Dead Souls, one of my favorite franchises of all time, though this is the outlier, the zombie shooter. I've completed all the other games in the series except for this one. I will get to this one eventually. Street Fighter X Tekken, apologies, this is the other third fighting game I have for the system. A couple of RPGs, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, containing Tales of Symphonia, and then Dawn of the New World, which I think was originally on the Nintendo Wii. Tales of Xillia, and then Tales of Xillia 2. Okay, these don't have covers. Puppeteer, and then Folklore. Also dirt cheap. I think I'll give or donate these to somebody that's looking for these games, as I already have normal copies for the system. Cool, one of the final novelties for the collection, God of War Collection Volume 2 with Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, originally PSP games that have been remastered for the quote-unquote remastered for the system. And then on the other side of the compilation we have Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. This came in soft cover. I must just be careful as it's very delicate. I'll try and find a hard cover to store this in one day. Okay, some racing games. let's move on. We'll start with Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. Gran Turismo 5 Academy Edition. A lot of fun and also very, very affordable. Next up, Gran Turismo 6 Anniversary Edition. Just a pre-warning, if you do purchase this game, there is a number of downloads or updates that you require, and also it will take a lot of time to complete. I recommend you do this overnight. Next up, Grid Reloaded. And then we have Grid 2. This I picked up a couple of weeks ago for $60. I've yet to try this one out in particular. Full Auto 2 Battle Lines. Highly recommended vehicular combat game. This one has been passed on because of the negative reviews, unfortunately. Though this is highly recommended. I have a lot of fun playing this. I am stuck at a particular level that I want to get through eventually, and hopefully complete this soon. Next up, Mayhem, a hidden gem, highly recommended. One of my favorite car games on the PlayStation 3. It has a whole black and white sort of cartoon aesthetic. Really unique, really a lot of fun. I highly recommend this. Crash Time 4, The Syndicate. Very cheesy dialogue, but don't let that distract you from the fact that this is a very, very fun game. Based on a German series, I think of the same name. Let's just see. Yeah, this for Combat Das Syndicate or something along those lines. I'm not too sure. I had a lot of fun playing this, and if it is something up your alley, I do recommend you pick this one up. It is getting up there in price. Blur, one of my favorite races on the system. This is a must play. Think of it as Mario Kart with licensed cars. This is one that you can play on a Friday afternoon and leave all your troubles behind. You'll have a lot of fun. Test Drive Unlimited 2. Had a lot of fun playing this game. They actually mapped the maps almost to the point with Ibiza and Hawaii. Though I actually rage quitted the game when I found that I couldn't get the license in Hawaii for one of the challenges, unfortunately. Burnout Paradise, The Ultimate Box. Highly recommended game. And I think this was also remastered for PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Juice 2, Hot Import Nights, port from the PlayStation 2. And then last but not least, Split Second Velocity. Very unique, very, very fun. It's as if you're playing a movie action sequence during the race. The track always changes lap by lap. Next up, some first-person shooters and war games. Let's start with Battlefield 3. This was one of my first PlayStation 3 games. It's a lot of fun. Bioshock 2 has some sort of water, well, I can put like ripples in the cover. Picked the game up like that, unfortunately. Maybe I should try and find another cover for it. Also a very highly recommended game. SOCOM Confrontation, not as good as the PS2 SOCOM games, unfortunately. Turning Point, Fall of Liberty. You can finish this in a couple of hours. I did enjoy it for what it was worth. I highly recommend it, a hidden gem for the system. BioShock Infinite, the complete edition. This has all the add-on packs on the physical disc. And it was for this reason that I picked the game up. Time Crisis 4 by Namco. Red Faction Guerrilla. Singularity, a hidden gem. A lot of YouTubers have raved on about this game in particular. It was just the reason why I picked it up. I haven't played it yet, but I will get to it one day. Wolfenstein. Highly recommended a quote-unquote reboot of the Wolfenstein franchise. Unfortunately, the critics weren't kind to this game, but it is a lot of fun and one that I do recommend that you play. Don't let them sway you from the fact that this is an awesome game by id and Raven Software. Call of Duty Black Ops. I haven't played Black Ops unfortunately as yet, but I will get to it one day. And then Spec Ops The Line. Very awesome game. This takes place in the deserts of Dubai. It's a very fun shooter. The setting and the aesthetic of the whole game in particular is very unique. Definitely worth a full playthrough. Okay, Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. Unfortunately, this is the last game in the Sly Cooper franchise. They really need to continue the series on, but if it should stay a relic in the past, or if they can do something awesome with the series, only time will tell. Next up we have Ride to Hell Retribution. This game is in that niche that it's a very terrible game, which it is, but it is so bad that it's good. I enjoyed it for what it is, though this won't be everybody's cup of tea. Max Payne 3. The only Max Payne I haven't played yet. I've played the first and the second. The second I actually completed recently, and I'll jump onto this one soon. Mini Ninjas. Rise of the Argonauts by Codemasters. Got this one on the cheap. Then we have Genji, Days of the Blade. One of the launch titles, I think, for the Sony PlayStation 3. I have to get rid of that sticker residue. Alright. Okay, moving on, we have Bloodstone 007 by Bizarre Creations, the studio that behind the Project Gotham racing series. Very awesome Bond-like adventure. Highly recommended. Next up, 007 Legends. This was developed by Eurocom Entertainment Software. Unfortunately, this was their last game before the studio was forced to close down because of weak sales and scathing critic reviews. I really do think it's a must play, especially if you're a James Bond fan. It's a bit sad. Siren Blood Curse. Horror for the PS3. I picked this one up on the cheap. Little did the store that sold me the game know how much the game actually is worth. Resident Evil 5, one of my first PlayStation 3 game pickups when I'd first gotten the system. Next up, Infamous 1, and then Infamous 2. Haven't played these yet. I played First Light on the PS4, and I've yet to also try out Infamous Second Son. I'll get to these eventually. Okay, Little Big Planet and Little Big Planet 2. One of my favorite franchises of all time. Really is charming and a lot of fun, these games. And one that I recommend that you play even today, even though the servers are probably switched off. These are very fun games and must own for the PlayStation 3 system. Now to some Ratchet & Clank. Ratchet & Clank, Quest for Booty. I'm currently playing through this one at the moment. Ratchet & Clank, Q-Force. I think this is the only one that is not complete. I have to find a manual. Ratchet & Clank All for One. I think this is a couch co-op here, 1 to 4 players. Maybe I'll convince my brothers to play this with me. Complete. Ratchet & Clank Nexus. Crack in Time. This is the Platinum Edition. A lot like the Americans' Greatest Hits. Then Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction. Okay, moving on to one of my most favorite game franchises of all time, that being Uncharted. We'll start with Uncharted Drake's Fortune. This is the Platinum version. Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. And then my favorite one of all time, Drake's Deception. This is one of my guilty pleasures. I will always find a spot to play if I'm bored or I have nothing else that I'm playing at the moment. Or at that moment in time, rather. Next up, Metal Gear Solid, Guns of the Patriots. This is the 25th anniversary edition. Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition. This has the Awakening DLC and the other extra content. I also have Dragon Age 2, the BioWare Signature Edition. Okay. Way of the Samurai 3. Also picked this one up for cheap, just 60 bucks. Or 60 rands rather. About $3 US. Alice Madness Returns. Highly recommended game. If you do have the PS3 version, you can actually pick up the original Alice game for free on the PlayStation Network. Though you'd have to do it through the actual game's menus. I don't think you can do the same with the Xbox 360, as I think the servers for that are down. Brutal Legend. This was a gift from a dear friend of mine when I started buying a lot more retro games. This was a couple of years ago. Heavenly Sword. This is the Platinum version. Next up, Lair. I am stuck at a particular level. I need to continue with this one day. Okay, we have X-Blaze, part of the BlazBlue universe. This takes on a more story and visual novel style approach. Now for some Italia games, I have Italia Tutori, The Adventure of Ireland. I picked this up brand new. Italia Rorona Plus, The Alchemist of Ireland. Italia Aisha, The Alchemist of Dusk. Then we have Italia Meruru, The Apprentice of Ireland. For next game, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen by Capcom. Now for some Tales of games, I have Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. This was also a pickup, but this was like over, 15 years ago, I think? Very long time ago. Tales of Graces F. This includes the soundtrack. Oh yeah, let me show you this as well. I have also part of the Tales of Graces universe. This is like this is like a DVD video, but it's been fan art drawn. I've picked this up in Japan about 7 years ago on my first overseas trip. Lots of awesome memories. I picked this up at a shop in Tokyo. Next up, Tales of Xillia. This is the first game. And then I have Tales of Xillia 2. This is the Day 1 edition steelbook. Okay. Tears to Tiara 2, Heir of the Overlord. This was a very expensive game. Unfortunately, these are very hard to come by here in South Africa. I actually had to pay a pretty penny for this one. And then I also have the soundtrack, which I picked up from a bargain bin in Japan as well, which is also for the video game. I think I have only about 2 JRPGs to collect, and then I should be done with all the JRPGs for the system. Right, let's carry on. Lollipop Chainsaw. Highly recommended game. This is a must play, even if you're not a fan of zombies or overly over-the-top violent games. This was an unexpected surprise. Ni no Kuni, one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. The art is from Studio Ghibli, and it's absolutely breathtaking. The amount of artistic detail and fun that's on this one single disc. Highly recommended. A Keeper's Trip, Undead and Undressed. A very fun game to play. Doesn't take itself too seriously, and a must play for anime fans out there like myself. The Witch and the 100th Night. I need to actually continue playing this. I did put about 20 minutes into it. As you can see, this is the a German cover, but the game disc is in English. Rune Factory Oceans. I need to try this one out myself. I think in the NTSC territories it has a different name. Cross Edge. White Knight Chronicles International Edition. This is an American copy. A little sun faded on the cover. Then we have White Knight Chronicles 2. Apparently it includes the original game and the second game Adventure on one disc. Next up, The Guided Fate Paradox. Also a German cover, and manuals in German but with the English disc. Fun fact, the shop that was actually selling it, selling these for dirt cheap, which prompted me to pick these up. Unfortunately, if you want a full English cover, manual and disc, it would cost a lot more. The Awakened Fate Ultimatum, also German cover, manual, but with an English disc. Star Ocean, The Last Hope International. I have the regular edition for the Xbox 360, but I think this does have additional content. I could be wrong though. Artanel Kokuga, Knell of Arc Seal, PlayStation 3 exclusive. I hope to find the first two games for the PS2, though the prices of those are far beyond what I'm willing to pay. Trinity Universe. Crossover of a couple of games and franchises. We have to try this one out. Trinity Souls of Zillow. A very expensive and hard to find RPG. This features 3 protagonists, though I've yet to see the uniqueness of the game myself, but it does warrant a playthrough, well, hopefully soon. Valkyria Chronicles. I played the Europa edition on PlayStation 4, but nonetheless this is a highly recommended highly recommended game for the PlayStation 3 nonetheless. If you can find this one on the cheap, I do recommend you add this to your collection. Eternal Sonata. I recently completed this version on PlayStation 3 about a month ago. I had the original Xbox 360 version, which was the version that I grew up playing. The PlayStation 3 version though has additional characters, an additional dungeon, and apparently multiple endings, which I would like to see through. On the Xbox 360 version it was a little bit more limited, though to get the full context of the story you'd need to play at least 2 playthroughs of the game. Moving on to one of my most favorite video games of all time, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. This is an absolute must play if you love JRPGs or love anime. The story is absolutely magnificent and it's very, very gripping from start to finish. This, I can still remember my first playthrough fondly a couple of years ago. This is an absolute must play. Drakengard 3 has the blue label. Very awesome game, a violent one at that, and the genesis of the whole Drakengard franchise. Highly recommended. Time and Eternity, a hated game amongst the general populace, though this game has been getting a lot of recognition and popularity as of late. I enjoyed this one though. This was the first game I completed in 2025 and I really enjoyed it for what it is. I really understood where the developers were coming on for this game, though it's a shame that it didn't get the popularity and fame it deserves. Next up, No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise. A very fun, unexpected surprise, this game. Think of it as somewhat unpolished, but very, it will win you over with its charm and with its quirkiness. This is one you absolutely must play for the PS3. It is a little bit expensive, but if you are able to find one on the cheap, I really recommend picking this one up. Enchanted Arms. I haven't played this as yet. This is also by From Software. I think this was a relatively early release for PS3 and then also released on the Xbox 360. Afro Samurai. I picked this one up on a whim. I've yet to try this one out. Okay, next up we have Hyperdimension Neptunia. The sequel, I think, Hyperdimension Neptunia Mark II. And then the Victory, I think the third game in the trilogy. I think there was a certain YouTuber that hated these games, but I'll still give them a shot. Maybe I'll enjoy it. Disgaea D2, A Brighter Darkness. I haven't played this one specifically with Laharl. I think this is a sequel of his story from PlayStation 2. Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice. My favorite Disgaea for the PlayStation 3. The orcs were voiced by Mexican voice actors and introduced a lot of funny elements referring to your character as Güero, Ese, and the like. Very over the top, but very, very fun. Disgaea 4, A Promise Unforgotten. I've seen this has been re-released a couple times, I think for Switch and the PlayStation 4. Also highly recommended, though not my favorite out of the trilogy. Well, I've yet to try this one out. Next up, Mugen Souls. And then Mugen Souls Z. This also is a German cover, though I think I didn't pick this up from the same online shop. I think I picked this up from another online seller, secondhand. Next up, Yakuza 3. I played the played this on the remaster collection for PlayStation 4, as well as Yakuza 4. Very, very fun. And then I do recommend that if you want to pick up a physical copy of Yakuza 5, it hasn't been released for the English market for PlayStation 3. Rather, pick up the remaster collection on PlayStation 4 if you want to own all three games physically. Next up, Yakuza Dead Souls. This was relatively inexpensive when I picked it up. I think just a couple $100. I've yet to try this one out. Okay, final three games. Final Fantasy 13. This one was very cheap. (13-2). I understand if you actually have the 3 versions for one console. You can actually carry your save file through each one. Lightning Returns, the final one in the trilogy. But this is the American NTSC copy. If you've gotten to this point of the video, I thank you for watching. This is my PlayStation 3 game collection. Let me hear from you. What are some of your favorite games to collect for the system? Obviously the library is still so vast, and there will be games that I would have missed. And also another thing I forgot to mention in one of my pickups was the racing stand that I have behind me. Though I had to fight with the game shop to have it shipped. Now I'd like to try this out with the some of the PlayStation 3 games as well, because apparently it's compatible, not just with the PC, PS4 and PS5. And I'd also like to get some game footage recorded and uploaded to the channel. I need to grab a capture card for that. I also recorded my PlayStation 5 game collection. I have to get to editing and then uploading that video soon. I wish you all the best and take care.